Hey there, Miss Diana.
Hey,
How are
Nikki.
you doing tonight?
Emotionally drained, and I almost bit a doctor today, so pretty good for me.
Well, almost. You kept yourself from actually biting the doctor. I'm happy about that.
The mask helps. It worked like a muzzle.
The mask, nice. We're muzzling ourselves in public now. That's good. That's
Yeah,
good.
probably for the best in my case.
I want to say hi and welcome. This is Left Unsupervised, which is Misbehaving. This is our Tuesday night. Today's Wednesday. This is our Wednesday night show when the kids go to bed, the other halves leave, and we are left unsupervised to say and do whatever the heck we want.
To a point. Apparently, the FCC has opinions, but oh well.
Well, everybody's got an opinion about something. Uh,
So, I'm Diana Rachel. I am author of Urban Magic, A Guide for the City Witch, and the upcoming hex twisting counter magic spells for the Irritated Witch. Please, please, please pre-order. It makes my life much better. And if you've read Urban Magic, please, please, please leave a review.
and I am Nikki Jobin. I am a pain in the ass extraordinaire. And
You've been promoted.
I've been promoted extraordinaire. And I am the other half of this Golden Apple duo. We are coming to you live from San Francisco. And are you Portage or
I am in
Kalamazoo?
Kalamazoo. My off
Kalamazoo. Okay.
Yeah, I'm actually in my office tonight because this was the only way I could be left unsupervised. So I am in the office that I see my more complicated spirit work clients in.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, tonight we have, I don't want to say quite the show going on. I hope it's going to be an interesting show. Tonight we have, well, one, we're going to have a shorter show. So we're going to try and get this to an hour because we get pretty tired by the end of that 2 hours. And
Yeah,
I think my computer starts to crap out after that.
yeah, I
It's like,
think the
go to
computer's
bed.
like, go to bed, I'm tired.
It's definitely over our chatter for a while. So tonight's show is about, we're talking about the things that are really often, I think, maybe taken for granted and overlooked, real
Mhm.
basics of witchcraft that we all should be doing, and not everyone is really great at doing. So
Yeah.
we just want to talk about those. And I am gonna let's do this. Hold on. Nope, that wasn't what I wanted. This is what I wanted. Now
There
you
we
can
are.
see us. I was like, you're
Yeah.
so tiny on there. We are doing yeah, we're
Okay.
trying a new thing where we are um, trying to start with our little logo there of music. That was the lovely music of Peter Gundry. If you don't know him, I like a lot of his stuff, and it's mostly instrumental. Uh, so we're just going to jump right into this here. We have 2 viewers already. Hello,
Hi,
viewers. Please feel
welcome.
free to jump in on the comments and say howdy. I have those comments pulled up. But our first thing that we're going to talk about in these basics. So when we think of basics, it's not just if you do ritual, it's not just how to pull a circle, how to call your corners, do everything else, but it's really fundamental things beyond that you should be doing for yourself on a pretty regular basis. And I don't think that
Mhm.
we do enough of that. So there is metaphysical self care as well as physical self care.
Agreed. Yeah. And from the way I'm looking at it is there's just been a shift because I think there's a lot more self-taught witches in the world than there used to be. And where they're learning and teaching themselves from is from each other. And that's been producing some really good innovative stuff, but there are a few things that would be really useful that also get lost in that process.
Mhm.
And so the first one I wanted to talk about was super simple and one that we got an example of not being taught anymore was grounding.
Mhm.
And I think what I mean by grounding isn't necessarily just connecting to the earth. It is connecting to the earth in such a way, not that you're draining your energy, but that you are doing an energy exchange with the earth. And I think that because I do the empath training and I've dealt with so many empaths in crisis, and nearly all of the ones I have worked with have never been taught how to ground and have never even read through an exercise on their own. And I know back in the day when I was still basically a book witch, almost every book had something about you need to put your feet on the earth or you need to eat something after ritual, or it was worked into cakes and ale with the Wiccan traditions.
Mhm.
And it's been kind of lost. And I know part of it is altered consciousness is a big part of witchcraft, but the grounding is a big part of altering and unaltering your consciousness. And I think that part, the part where you have to return to baseline, gets skipped a lot.
Mhm. I do mine a little bit differently, I think, than most people do. So I'm going to have you outline this process, and
Okay.
then I'll kind of go into how I've changed it to work for me, because you can change it to work for how your magic works.
Yes. And honestly, you should. There's more than one way to ground, and there needs to be, because not everybody processes the same way. So, if you wanted to eat, well, if someone tells you to eat to ground, well, what if you're diabetic and you can't because of blood sugar schedules? There's certain things where you just have to learn different methods. So the super basic way I've learned it is you take your shoes off and you just really, really appreciate gravity. And you just feel the gravity and you feel the earth, pulling you to it instead of spinning you off of it at 3,000 miles per hour, like by all reason it should. And then what I do with empaths, apparently it's very much like the Druidic two powers meditation. And I'm talking about accidentally basically recreating something that the ADF would already did. But
Mhm.
I promise I came to it my own way. But it's the idea of that you go all the way down and go through the magma layer of the earth and find a root on the other side of the world and do an interchange. So
Mhm.
it's a root and a balance, and then you feel the energy coming back up, and then you kind of assess all of your energy and recalibrate from there by trying to match your environment instead of being louder or quieter than it, or faster or slower, or warmer or colder.
Okay. Okay. I actually have never when I I'm self-taught, I was a solitary when I came through. I actually never has have heard it explained that way. And it's actually a very cool way that you just explained it. It was more, yes, you put your feelers out, and it's kind of like you're putting your own like roots into the ground.
Yeah.
And that's how you're sharing your energy. What I kind of do is I ground through the elements themselves, and I have really strong visualization skills. So I literally am, if I'm trying to connect with the earth, I literally can feel my hands going into the soil.
Hmm.
And that even though I'm sitting in my apartment, I feel the dirt, I smell the dirt, and the coolness that you feel like right into the surface where it starts to get damp. And I feel that solidness underneath me as if I were kneeling right there, and pushing my energy through and then getting it back in return.
Okay.
um
So do you work through each element doing something like this?
yes, yes.
Cool.
If I'm thinking about water, then I visualize the ocean, like when you're walking on the beach and the waves come in, that initial shock of the cold, and then how you start to get used to it. Then when it pulls back, that bereft feeling that you have once the water is off of you again.
Hmm.
And I can smell the seashore. So it's not just the feel of it, but I get the scent, I get the sound, um, the wind, the little, the feeling of the little pieces of leaves and flowers that get in your hair on a windy day. So all of these things, I share my energy back and forth with them, and it helps get me grounded and get me in and out of that headspace.
That's cool. That's one I hadn't thought of doing. That sounds something like a hermetic elemental meditation, but that's a little more advanced, so we can talk about it another time.
Yeah.
So
Um,
we will put a pin in that one.
we'll put a pin
Um,
in that one. Yeah, it
yeah.
works for me, but I didn't start out doing that. It took a long time for me to kind of get to that point. And I actually had a friend who had suggested the earth part of it to me, and was literally like, visualize yourself putting your hands in the ground, the vines coming up and wrapping around your arms, and that's how you're sharing the energy. And
Yeah.
he had me close my eyes, and I just sat there for a few minutes, and he's like, and tell me when you open your eyes, tell me what's different. And smells were stronger, colors were sharper. Just the details on things were so much sharper, as if someone just put the entire world into focus for me.
That is really cool.
Yeah. And
Okay.
I just thought about, we expand to the other elements doing the same thing.
That is really cool. That is not something I had thought of, and that is really fucking cool.
Mm-hmm. So but figure out what works the best for you.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And and this is something that I've said before, is a technique, an idea, a belief will serve you for a while and then stop serving you. So it may be something where it just stops working at some point, and then you just need to find a different way.
Mm-hmm. And that's
And
because we are constantly evolving.
yeah, yeah, our brains grow new paths, and then we can do new cool stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Or occasionally have a little too much nitrous, and then we have to just come around where we blocked our paths. So
Yeah.
this can happen.
Mm-hmm.
Not to me. So on to the next one, and this used to be kind of taught together to the point where people did not know the difference. So I've talked about grounding, that reconnection, that energy exchange, and the other one was centering. And centering is making sure, for lack of a better phrase, I'm going to say it's knowing your baseline. It's basically being fully in your body. And I know with empaths, a lot of us do not like being in our bodies. They're very uncomfortable places with everybody else's stuff on them. But it is being fully in your body, fully in your awareness, and aware of yourself in a kinesthetic and physical way. The way an old mentor explained it to me was, okay, if a gunshot goes off and you're not expecting it, you're not going to be grounded, but you are going to be centered because you're going to be back in your body, looking around for what's going on. So, you don't necessarily want to do the fight or flight. Overworking your adrenal system is bad. But for people, especially for those of us that do have a hard time hanging out in our own bodies, and this is something that I've recently taught to my oldest, because we were trying to teach him how to do a plant medicine connection. And so it's super simple. It's just the body scan meditation where you close your eyes and you kind of just mentally tour your own body, looking for aches, for pains, even for emotions or ideas are lodged, and get a sense of what your baseline is before you engage with anything. So
Mm-hmm.
you know the difference between you and whatever it is you're interacting with. And that actually helped a lot. And that's one that was actually good to remind myself of.
Well, when we were talking about the grounding, I was saying, I stopped myself from saying, you ground and then you feel yourself centered. And I was like, wait, we're going to talk about centering next.
Yes. Well, and understanding the difference, because there are situations where you don't have time to ground,
Mm-hmm.
but you can center really fast. And sometimes you've got to work with being centered.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And then,
absolutely.
especially if you're going through something that you know is going to be traumatic, that's where centering comes in handy.
Mm-hmm. And we have a comment from Jennifer. Hi, Jennifer. She says, I
Hi.
do things two ways, one similar to what Nikki described through intense visualization, and the other by just gardening without shoes or gloves. I live in an apartment, so I mean, if I don't have shoes or gloves on, I'm really just standing on concrete anyway. So,
Well, and this is where I would go into my urban magic grounding, where everything is inherently porous, but
Mhm.
that would be kind of a level 2 or 3. So we're not doing that today.
Yeah,
But it is, being stuck in an apartment, being stuck in concrete is not a limitation unless you would accept it as one.
yeah, it's just a different feeling on your feet is
Yeah.
more my thought process.
Yeah. Well, I'm more of the tap tap. Remember when you were the beach, which is what I have to do where I'm right now because it's a
Mhm.
concrete building.
Mhm. Yeah, no, that was good. Let's see. Our third one that we have is house cleansing and frequency, and this is kind of a big thing for me because we hear a lot through social media, through witch talk, through Instagram, all these other places about how important it is to do a personal cleanse, and we physically clean our houses, hopefully quite a bit, but we don't always do the energy. And there are definitely times when it's really important to make sure that you're clearing that energy. I always do it when I move into a new place.
Mm-hmm.
I try to do it if there's been a death in the family, after a breakup, after any kind of intense emotional catharsis, whatever that might be. But also, I do it on a rate. I might not do it every single month, but I definitely do it with my spring cleaning and my fall cleaning.
Yeah,
And I think that we don't do that enough.
I used to be a lot more hardcore about it, but again, with the level of activity I attract, so I would do it every new moon and full moon.
Hmm.
But I wouldn't do like a super deep one. I would have my SBAT cleansing, and then I would have something deeper I would do for the emotional stuff. Like for a long time during my last marriage, after an especially emotional situation, I would do the cleansing as normal and then burn copal to add protection and healing.
Hmm.
And
And
just add those things.
yeah, and you're the person that taught me to use the copal to seal it afterwards,
Yeah,
which I never did before. I want to dig a little bit just into this house cleansing, just because
yeah.
there's been a lot going on lately about cultural appropriation, and I know we all heard sage your house, sage your house, sage your house. Now there's a
Hmm.
difference between saging your house and smudging your house. And
Yes.
I think it's important that we make that distinction. And I know that you have something going on with elements right now where you're actually teaching a class or doing a workshop about that.
What I am doing is I am doing for my elements. So I was doing elements Monday Night Live. I'm now doing elements Thursday Night Live with their new herb bar because apparently me, tea, and herbs are a thing. But one of the things that, and I talked for a while with the owner about doing this because it will impact her business, I'm doing a long series on the different products we commonly use for staging,
Mhm.
smudging, and for cleansing, and talking about the cultural appropriation aspects, talking about the environmental impacts. So, for example, Palo Santo is overharvested. And so, talking about what these are and what we can use instead. So, I've already done the first one and I gave a surface, but what we're talking about, and I know some of this because of training I've received in private from Native people, also because my partner is, their father's family is Native. So they have a specific smudging practice that is passed down in their own family. And one of the reasons we do not call it smudging is because when we're smoke cleansing with sage, that isn't actually smudging. Smudging usually involves white sage and another plant, or not white sage at all, depending on what that particular tribe or nation uses. And one of the other reasons that it's considered highly offensive for people that are not of native descent to use it is one, it is a closed practice. It is taught privately, and families and tribes are taught privately to students of tribal members who decide these people are good people to carry the tradition because they will use it the right way. And it is also because, and I can't remember the exact year, it may have been as late as the 80s, Native Americans could go to jail for engaging in a smudging practice,
I think what
while
was it,
white
about
people
40
were
years
able
ago?
to,
Yeah.
yeah, while white people were able to buy sage, call it smudging, and suffer no consequences.
Hmm.
Now it has been re-legalized. It was very much that law was passed with the intent of destroying those cultures. And so that's one of the reasons why calling it smudging now, given that it is a practice that has a lot of prayers, a lot of specific herbs, a lot of things are specific to the regions of the tribes because Native American practices are not monolithic. They're very different among themselves, but
Hmm.
it was one of the consistent things that came up. So talking about we call it smoke cleansing, and that doesn't necessarily mean don't use white sage, but there are things with white sage harvesting that have been problematic, and that's going to be something that I'll be getting into in the next show with
Hmm.
elements Kalamazoo on Thursday nights. So,
Hmm. So
you know,
let's go into things that people can use that aren't the white sage. I never called it
yes,
smudging personally, or even smoke cleansing. It was
yeah,
just cleansing. It was cleansing the house.
yeah, and
Um,
yeah, and I would sage a lot too, but that was probably because I lived in Minnesota, and the best place to get sage was the Native American shop, Native American owned
mhm,
shop, Dakota Sioux owned shop, and they were just sort of like, okay, if you're going to use that one, and it was not something that they taught me. They just kind of pointed me in that direction.
mhm. And we've
Things you
talked
can,
a lot about the different herbs.
yeah, things that you, and on the show, I did talk of like a way you can make a smoke cleanse bundle of your own. Things that I would recommend using, rosemary is fantastic.
Hmm.
It is
Absolutely.
cleansing, it is protective, it's got a good antiseptic quality. Marigold flowers can also be very good. If you know, in different instances do different things. And you do have to take into account allergies because I'm thinking of cinnamon, which one of our old Upper Norton
Mhm.
people was very allergic to. But cinnamon is really good for fiery protection and can also work as a sealant as almost as much as a resin can.
Mhm.
And I know resins can and do have cleansing effects, except for copal, which is a little bit easier to produce quickly. I'm a little bit wary about over recommending stuff like frankincense or myrrh or dragon's blood
Yeah, no more,
because,
please.
yeah, well, you're not a myrrh fan anyway, but over harvesting is a problem. And
Mhm.
because they are resins, you basically tap the tree like you would a maple tree, but they don't necessarily reproduce the same every year.
Mhm.
And
And the other thing is there are so many things close to home that you can use that honestly, go in your cabinet, get some bay leaf.
bay leaf is fantastic. Bay leaf is like the multi-tool of the herbal world.
Mhm.
Because you can just like if you're feeling too wiped out to like go through your house, just write cleanse my house with a Sharpie on the bay leaf and it'll do it.
Yeah.
You do need to follow up with a sealant, but you can even tell it which room to do from a different room. And I have done this. It's
Mhm.
awesome. And they are abundant and you can get entire bags of them. San Francisco Herb Company carries great,
Oh
wonderful
yeah.
bags of them. The other one that I think a lot of people do not think of for smoke cleansing is roses. Roses
Mhm.
are super protective, can protect from multiple entities, and things that get pissed off at sage usually don't know what to do when you throw rose petals in their face.
Well, there's that. Jennifer says, I have to jump back to comments here. Lemongrass,
Yeah, lemongrass is a good one. It's also really
cedar.
good for getting rid of mosquitoes. Cedar,
Mhm.
cedar is awesome. I
Sorry.
think more than half of my garden is going into cedar beds this year. So, because again, insect repellents, really, really cleansing, sealing, protective, and
Mhm.
it doesn't rot. So it sticks around for a while, which is one of the
Mhm.
reasons that like everybody's grandma used to have a cedar chest for a hope chest.
What we've always done when we've cleansed the house to move in is Florida water and Rue water. The Rue water, we did the Rue water floor wash, and we washed all the cabinets and windows with it. And that was a
Hmm.
thing that my grandmother's family did.
Yeah.
Um, but the other things I'm thinking of right now also are you don't even have to use herbs. You can use sound, you can use salt.
Hmm.
There are so many things. I mean, for sound, what you can use the gong, you can use the singing bowls, clapping your hands, drums.
Banging pots will drive anything out.
hmm it would make me leave the room.
Yeah.
Um, and then opening your window. Open your window,
Yes.
let all those little nasties float out. Because if the windows are shut and you're trying to get rid of stuff, they're going to be like, "Where do you want me to go, lady? Because I'm
Yeah.
stuck here."
Yeah. Pretty much. And that has happened. I have done the dumb, partly because it was below zero and I didn't want to try. But that was the downside of living in Minnesota and living out
Yeah.
here. But there is a certain physical logic to this stuff. So you do have to open the doors. You do have to open the windows. You do need to like seal things off and wash them. And, dust can collect more than just dust.
Mhm.
Emotions are sticky. They will stick to them.
Yeah. And they build up. It's worse than grease.
And they will take on a mind of their own. And it's bad enough when the dust bunnies try to read you a Bill of Rights, but when the dust bunnies are possessed, it is so much worse.
I just got that thought in my head of oh God, Monty Python, the quest for the Holy Grail, the vampire bunnies or the
Yeah, now imagine some piles of sentient dust that become sentient from sheer neglect of energy.
yeah, you have to clean those suckers up because they'll become armies.
Yeah, and then they're going to start bitching at you about your air filter. One time. One time.
Okay, our last item that we have on here is clarity work.
Yeah, and this one's almost an unknown, and I feel that it's kind of a shame because one of the things we talk about in magic a lot is lust for results. And that is the did it work yet? Did it work yet? And like obsessing about it. And sometimes spells are going to work when they're going to work. I've had stuff manifest like 3 years after I'd forgotten I did it.
Mhm.
Which was highly annoying because it was exactly what I didn't want by then. But
Of course not.
yeah, so like putting expiration dates and things also a good practice. But clarity work is first of all a lot of the time we will approach certain spells from a place of really, really wanting something so badly that we no longer have a clear head about it,
Mm-hmm.
or because we're mad, and there's a certain kind of mad where that's exactly what you want, but all the other kinds of mad, not so much.
Mm-hmm.
It's emotional state, and it's usually an emotion, just a really strong emotional state that we may not be seeing everything we need to see. And I've been on this weird documentary binge. I swear this is relevant. This weird documentary binge about the way the human brain works.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and there's this one on PBS. So if you have a PBS Roku channel, I'll post links about it later. But what I was watching this episode where it was talking about how we have like the frontal brain, which makes all the super fast decisions, and the black back brain, which works slower.
Mm-hmm.
And when we get into emotional states, it's the front brain basically making all these snap reactions, telling ourselves stories, this kind of thing. And the slow brain's in the back trying to wave and get the attention, but it just can't quite get into the noise.
Mm-hmm.
So clarity work is what you do to get your front brain to slow down enough to hear your back brain. And you can do this in different ways. It's not necessarily meditation, and I've been around enough people with ADHD to see how much meditation really doesn't work for a lot of people. And so what this does is it basically gets takes your front brain and lets it basically chatter itself tired, and then gives the room for you to hear the back brain. And so that could be something as simple as lighting a white candle and taking a bath. Even though I am not remotely Christian, I am very fond of chanting psalms during that time because it keeps that front brain busy. This is one of the reasons we do the spells with the toys,
Mm-hmm.
is to get the front brain busy so the back brain can catch up and say, so here's the magic you need to do, or I'm going to start moving that energy now that I can see where everything is.
Mm-hmm.
So basically back here we have a turtle, up here we have a monkey on crack, and this way we can get them to kind of calibrate with the clarity work.
Okay, I like that. We can get them to come sit at the table and have a convo.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so those are some. I mean, there's definitely more out there that I think are really overlooked, but these four are really things that they will help you improve your magic, and they're not going to come easily overnight.
No, not at
But
all.
with the dedication and practice, they will become easy, and soon they will become muscle memory.
Okay,
You
Carlitos
can't
is
hear
having
any
issues.
volume.
Okay, Carlitos, you may need to check your connection.
Yeah,
Uh,
because
we're hearing each
we
other. Yeah,
yeah. Can everyone else hear us?
yeah,
That's a good thing to know. If we have all of a sudden lost volume, that would be bad.
that would be very bad. Yes.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, there's a bunch of little things, and in the mountains of time I don't have, I may start doing TikTok videos that are focused on like one thing or one exercise, or just because I'm seeing this good stuff on TikTok, but I'm very good at going, okay, so what's missing here? What's that detail missing? Is that coming back going, it would have been nice if you told me that in the first place, type
Yeah,
thing.
I
Yeah.
think that's half the stuff we do. There's always one piece, when things have been really perplexing that
Hmm.
we figure it out later and we're like, oh, that
Yeah.
was so easy. Why did we miss it?
Well, partly because somebody was a big fan of the play See How They Run. But yes,
Um, we actually went through that really fast. So
we did. When I'm behaving, I behave really well.
we do.
So,
We had a plan. We're sticking to it. What are some? Let's see. We have two viewers on right now, and I'm not sure who they are. But if you have your own things that you feel like are very basic things that are really important to your practice, feel free to share. I
yeah, we
love
would,
getting viewer comments and having them join the conversation.
yeah. It gives us more ideas for future shows as well. So,
Absolutely.
if you want us to keep entertaining you at random times every couple of weeks, this is one way to help keep that happening.
There we go.
So,
In the meantime, I'm going to pop up some links here. So, though we are talking about basics today,
mhm.
Diana did write a book called Hex Twisting, Give me the full thing here.
Hex twisting counter magic spells for the irritated witch.
Which some of them are very simple things. Some of them are a little bit more complex, but I read the book when you were in the beginning stages of it, and I found it really easy to follow, whether it was something that was a little bit more advanced as well as basic, and it's got a lot of great anecdotes in it. So we are on pre-order for that right now. So here's the link for that. I'm also going to copy this link and let's see if I can copy it here. I can't copy it there. Well, we'll get it on the in the comments as well.
And pre-orders are a wonderful thing to do to support authors. What happens is the more pre-orders we get, the more publishers and bookstores are likely to pick them up. So, and distributors will. So basically, the more pre-orders I get, the more confident other stores are that it will be saleable. And they will then pick it up too. So it draws good attention to what I do. So if you can pre-order, please do so.
Our next one that we're going to talk about, and I have that in the comments now. Last year, at this time, when we were just starting to deal with the pandemic, you had written a book about urban magic, which is, we were talking about that a little bit earlier. I might be upstairs on my balcony, which is concrete, but once upon a time, that concrete was the beach.
Yes. And there's a lot in there. Urban Magic Guide for the City Witch. And yeah, I was supposed to be wrapping up my book tour for that one and getting ready for Hex Twisting now. Instead, I went to my next book tour stop and ended up living there. But, you know, as far as bad planning goes, I have done far worse in the past. But this one I do talk about there, and I've been having a lot of conversations about it recently, to the point where I can't remember everyone I've been talking to lately. This may also be due to sleep deprivation, but
just a
little bit. But one of the things that I teach in this is that just because something appears unnatural, literally everything around us has an origin in nature. You know, even the building, even the plaster, all of it. And so if you can connect, and I'm very much an animist, so to me, everything is inherently alive and has some sort of consciousness. And so if you can connect to that consciousness, whatever it is, then you do not need to have a separation from nature, because you can do things like go out to the road, to the tar road, go tap, tap. So were you a dinosaur or were you a plant? And see what answer you get back.
There we go.
So far, nobody's found a Tyrannosaurus Rex. That will be awesome. That will be an awesome, awesome day.
That would be a little scary.
Yeah. Only if it was hungry. But yeah.
Lastly, our next thing that we were going to talk about, and we have about half an hour to talk about this, we have a new member of the Golden Apple family.
Woohoo!
And I tried to get her to come on tonight, but she's really kind of a zombie today, she says. Christine Kendall of Red Fairy Boutique, which is she makes the cutest stuff. She makes custom resin pieces, and they're super duper cute. They are they're now on our website. And I was going to share.
They look so cool. Like, seriously, I always deliver resin art anyway, and it is so cool.
Yeah, I'm really kind of excited. I'm going to show this application window here. Where is it? Right here. Here we go. So this is a Resin Rune Set that she's made. It comes in various colors. But I was playing with these, and they're really lightweight. They're great to cast. They come with a velvet bag that holds them. So we have lots of different colors here, and they're gorgeous. So I was really
that's
excited.
really nice.
Are you seeing those on the screen there? Let's see if I go back. We have so many items. She does these different resin pieces. You see we have some Hand of Fatima incense burners here, travel spirit boards, incense holders, chakra meditation stones. Now, I do want to say about the chakra meditation stones that are listed in the upper right hand corner of the screen there. Those are made from resin. Those are not actually made from stone, but they're designed to help you focus on the particular chakra that you are trying to balance out and cleanse. So I thought that was really exciting. But she has a lot of really cool stuff on there.
I'm imagining taking the travel spirit boards with me,
Mhm.
given some of the weird stuff that has happened in hotels when I have forgotten to ward them. And I can just imagine that for me, it would be sort of like a constant obscene phone call.
Well, yeah, but that's you. That won't happen to most people.
Fair. Fair.
Um, yeah, so we talked last week about how, if you use them correctly, the spirit boards are really safe.
They are, very much
Um,
so.
don't let if somebody sends you some weird text message that says, call me now on this number, blah, 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 and you call the number not knowing who it is. Well, if you get some weird guy across the world that starts sending you dick pics, you kind of did it to yourself.
Yeah, yeah,
A little bit,
a little bit.
you know.
I mean, did anybody ever actually call those for a good time call, blah, blah, blah?
Oh,
So,
on the bathroom wall or just
yeah,
those 900? I mean, I knew plenty of people back in the 90s that dialed the 900 numbers.
so did I, but I never knew somebody who actually would dial the bathroom wall number.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
So, a weird segue, I know.
That was a weird segue. That was a cute segue though. We also have some of the new items that we have there are I can't talk. Sorry, Invisibility Incense that you
Mhm.
created and the laundry additive.
Yes. So we have in-house in Kalamazoo and available is the invisibility incense that I make that can double as a powder. You do not necessarily have to burn it for it to be effective. And I have a laundry additive for example, if you don't want to burn anything and you do not want to wear any jewelry or markings on your skin, but you need to escape notice, you just add a teaspoon of that to your normal laundry wash. And the idea is that you will not be translucent, and this will not be an emperor has a whole arrest warrant thing happening coming, but you will be able to, let's say you don't want your boss or your boss's boss paying too much attention to you, this would be the way to go. Do not do this if you're trying to get a promotion.
So we have an interesting comment here on our YouTube page, and I'm
Mhm.
not sure if it is. I think that they're trying to link us. Well, they say hi.
Okay, they're saying hi.
Hello.
Well, that looks like that's just my
Maybe it wasn't the
username.
comment. Yeah, that's the username. Demons
Yeah.
belong under God Yahweh and angels' feet. I don't know that I necessarily personally agree with that statement.
Oh, I see they're trying to
Oh,
do an exorcism.
you're
That's
so
just fucking cute.
cute.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness, look at that tiny ego. Oh
well,
my
I
goodness.
appreciate the fact. Just to clarify for you though, dear, neither one of us are Satanists.
Nope.
God, I love this. I'm going to put this on here just because I think it's hysterical. You're binding, rebuking, and enslaving both of us.
Oh, charming.
I just want to let you know that I'm a brat. So as long as
Oh,
you can deal with the backlash of the verbal tongue here, that
I don't consent to this, and I don't tolerate narcissistic twats like this. So go fuck
yeah.
yourself.
And just so you know, sending the angel, make sure it's an angel that she doesn't actually personally know, because that
Yeah,
might
because
backlash on
I'm
you.
an angel worker, and we none of us tolerate shit these days.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, what's this one?
Oh, spiritual warfare. Oh, this
Hmm.
is cute. Honey, you might want to put down the vodka and step away from the keyboard. You're not doing any good. And we need to stop paying him attention so his tiny dick
Yeah.
shrivels now.
Yeah. I just thought that was hysterical.
Yeah, I think that's enough.
Yeah, that was cute. That was a very interesting little interlude there.
I guess that we're finally getting some traction. We've had our first complete shameful crazy. And yeah, I mean, this person's obviously too stupid to know they should be horribly embarrassed, but
I'm not worried about it. But they're still watching,
well, of course
and
they are. They
no
want us to talk
matter
about them.
yeah, no matter what you're doing, you're still watching what we're saying. And when I'm throwing a demon party, I don't know that Satan's always invited because he gets a little crazy at the parties.
Honestly, he seems calm compared to some of them. So yeah.
Yeah. But
And I mean, if you
back
actually
to
read the
what we were
Bible,
saying.
Satan was basically Smithers. He worked for God. So
I'm
yeah.
just I'm sitting here very, very amused. Um, Back to what we were saying though, for the actual witches, I thought you were not a Satanist. Sorry, I had to jump back into that. I'm not a Satanist. Do I
No.
work? Do I walk a dark path in order to help people? Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, this is one of these people that can't count higher than two. So they think it's either God and Satan and don't realize there's a whole world that does not give a flying fuck about this.
Mhm. Ooh, I can put the user in timeout.
Good.
I like that. We're
I
gonna
think I've had
we're
about
gonna
enough of
time you
this.
out. Yeah, we're gonna time you out, and I certainly wish you well.
I
I
don't.
hope that you, well, I hope that you find whatever it is in life that you need. And I wish you well and send you on your way with love.
And I think you're an embarrassment to Christianity and need to die in a fire.
See? And I'm the bad one. I'm the evil one.
Yeah, I'm this truth speaker. That's much more unpleasant.
I'm not going to worry about that. We're here to have fun. We
Yep.
are to pass on the knowledge that, what, we've gotten through trial and error.
Mhm.
And people like that don't bother me because I know who we are. I know what we do. And
I was
God's
raised.
okay with me and I'm okay with God.
I like Jesus, and I get very, very angry at people like that because it's so embarrassing for Jesus and me.
Yeah, I like the acceptance game there. I just accept that this person has to live with themselves every day.
Yeah, you're nicer than I am, though.
I am sometimes. Oh,
What
Jennifer
time
wants to know
is
what's next. We just had our first YouTube troll,
it? Our YouTube troll who was a spiritual wannabe warrior.
and they, they had a lot of interesting comments for us, and they are now blocked. Well, they're in timeout. They're in timeout. I mean, I could go back and block them. That's easy enough, but
Yeah, so they may still
whatever.
be watching and
Mhm.
probably. I won't say that because, well, wait, we are R-rated, right?
We are not rated for children
So
here
good.
at Left Unsupervised. Go ahead, make
So he's probably
whatever
surfing one-handed on that one. Although,
spiritual troll. There we go. This is Jennifer right here. Spiritual trolling. Spiritual trolling. I love it. I found it completely hilarious, and you got really mad. How often does that happen?
yeah, probably more than you realize, but
No. I'm just, I take the crap with a
you know,
grain of salt.
I'm an angel worker. I actually work with Christian energy a lot. So if I'm mad about it, there's a reason.
I'm not saying that your anger is unfounded. I'm just saying
Yeah.
that
But
normally I'm the
it's
one that gets really angry about it.
yeah. Yeah. And I'm like, well, if you'd like a visit from wrathful angels.
Oh, they're not watching us anymore, man.
Huh.
Unless they're going to log in under another name and
Oh,
start all over again. I could do this all night, but we only have 15 minutes left of the cast.
well, that did give us some entertainment time.
It did. It gave us a new topic. Now we can talk about people that come in and troll. Um, and,
Yeah.
and, and here's the thing. Live and let live. We all, well, if you know me personally, you know that my particular thoughts about religion are Diana drives to the store one way, I drive to the store another. Is her way better than mine? For her. Is my way better than hers? For me. What's the important part? We both get to the store and get our groceries. That's all that really matters. If
And
you are finding a higher power that helps you live a better life, that's the important part,
and don't be looking in my cart telling me how to cook my damn dinner.
right? I'm all about, you don't like mushrooms, I don't like cilantro, you have yours, I have mine, we're both good. And if we make a meal together, we just find a way to compromise.
Yes, this is what separate dishes are for.
And I don't understand why, people have to freak out about that.
Yeah.
What do they say? Gosh, what was that years ago when we were at Pagonicon? It was that am I pagan enough
Oh
panel.
my God. Yeah.
Yeah. And I felt bad because you know what? I have been there. I have been in the place where I've not felt like, because I'm not, pedigreed, quotes, air quotes, pedigreed, that, you do sometimes feel like, wow, am I not enough for this? Is there more that I should be doing? But then I came to realize, you know what? If we were all cooks, the beginning cooks, the people that were just learning how to do stuff, sometimes would come up with the most innovative flavors because they're not afraid of what is going to happen, because they don't have a reputation to worry about. So I'm going to throw these weird things together. And sometimes, you know what? It came out delicious. Sometimes it tasted like ass. You just never know, but you have to be willing to take the risk.
Yeah, very much so.
Jennifer says that she's a mutt.
But you're a
not
cute
a
mutt.
mutt. Here's the thing about mutts is that they have stronger immune systems than the purebreds.
They do.
They do. Just saying. Let's see. So back to the shop, where, yes, we sell travel spirit boards.
Mm-hmm.
And we also we sell a lot of different things, and we also have a lot of services. So I'm going to roll right into that. We have different energy clearing services, house cleansing services. We have quite a few readers there. We have Diana that does reading. Jennifer is back on the roster. She does. We don't have her on the roster with readings as of yet, but she does yoga and Reiki healing. We have Christine Rossi, who's an amazing angel worker,
Yeah.
and she does quite a few different reading styles, including angel oracles and angel consultations.
And she's given me some
Diana.
fantastic angel compensated.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like our masturbator got loose.
I came back. All right. Well,
all right, dude,
I'm
just
glad
jerk
you're
off
praying.
to porn. Come on. It's free. Go away.
Well, we have now been blocked.
Yay.
We have been blocked. I can only put up with that so much.
Yes.
You can watch us all you want, and
if you're jerking off, we just don't need to know about it, even if your orgasm noises are basically religious vitriol.
Yeah. All I can say is whatever you're imagining right now, it's probably doesn't compare to the reality in the slightest, so get a better imagination. Anyway, among our services that are not those services for you, sir, we have quite a bit of readings going on. And Diana, you do a lot of spiritual coaching, spiritual counseling, and you help people with spell casting, learning that kind of theory.
I do spell casting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do spell casting. I help people with spirit attachments that they don't want to have, and with spirit negotiation and conversation, so we can usually figure out what the problem is. Like, for example, one of the things I've said is, you have a demon problem, you really have a human problem, because demons don't summon themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And it is similar with angels, is if you've got an angel problem, you almost always have a human problem.
Mm-hmm.
Now, fairies are
we also have a fun service called Amorphous.
Yeah, amorphous metaphysical problem solving, when you cannot figure out what the hell is going on, but it's not normal.
Yeah. That's when you shoot us a message, you give us a call, whoever you talk to, which is probably going to be Diana at first. We're going to troubleshoot, and we're going to hook you up with the best practitioner to help you solve your problem. Sometimes it's going to take a couple of us. We have to work in conjunction.
And we do work as teams. I know, like, Nikki and I are very opposite in the way we work. She's very left-hand path. I tend to be more right-hand path. Mm-hmm. And I know my partner, Cinti, is very animistic and works with things that even I have trouble conceiving of. Mm-hmm. And, Christine is very good at her angel work in a specific sphere. And, like, she's actually done home exorcisms and dealt with violent spirits in the past. And, each of us have our own experiences that we bring. So between us, if we can't figure it out, we have enough sense to at least figure out how to start asking down a chain.
Mm-hmm. And if we get Jennifer in there with her Reiki work, when she did Reiki on me, she saw things that she didn't know about me that were absolutely true. So just some amazing intuition there as well. As for, I don't, I still don't have my my little shingle out there, but if you're still watching on YouTube, I'm the thing that eats the things that you're afraid of.
Oh, and I'm the thing that you think you're praying to, and I don't like you.
Let's play nice.
No.
No, I mean all the kids just need to play nice, or we're all going out of the pool and to nap time.
I didn't bite a doctor today.
And you can have a cookie.
He lectured me about how many calories were in an apple.
Well, I can find that out through my Fitbit.
I almost got a copy of Health at Every Size to beat him over the head with. It was not good. Cindy had to hold me back.
Well, yeah, that doesn't sound like it was really fun.
It was not a good day.
Yeah, well, but
So
we're having fun now.
we are.
Without whiskey, I decided to forego the whiskey tonight, which is probably why I was so calm when we dealt with our troll.
Yeah, normally it's you that goes off.
It is normally me that goes off. I have the temper.
I've just had enough shit lately.
I'm telling you, it's been a weird couple weeks. You know, some interesting stuff going on on the sidelines there. But I will say, last night we're getting like we have 10 minutes, so we're gonna keep this short and sweet. Last night I was out drinking with some coworkers at my other job, and I brought my tarot cards, and I brought them, and I brought the book because I'm kind of iffy on it. Nope, I wasn't even looking at the cards, flipping them over, not even looking at them, telling people stuff. I read somebody's palm and was spot on, and I don't ever do that either.
I don't like touching people, so I'll leave that one to you.
Yeah, I'm the toucher. I'm a casual toucher.
I'm the biter.
Yeah, now I'm don't let her bite you. I still have a picture of that bruise.
I'm sorry.
No, you're not. You thought it was hysterical.
It's pretty funny. It was pretty funny.
It was. One of my partners was sad he wasn't there to witness it.
Well, I was biting you because he was late.
That's right. Yeah.
It made sense at the time. There was a lot of whiskey.
there was a lot of whiskey going on there.
And I serve his bite, so.
Yeah, and he was really sad that he missed it, and I was like, it wasn't really like you're thinking there, babe.
No, I was just stressed out and needed to bite someone, and you enjoy being bit, and this is a normal thing for friends, right?
It is in the people that we hang out with. It really is.
That's fair. I mean, when Tom was available, I bit Tom.
There you go. Jennifer says she's way too feely, and I don't think that there is such a thing. I mean, as long as you're not, copping a feel on people without their consent, I don't think that there's a way too feely.
I prefer not to get felt up until I damn well know I'm okay getting felt up. But this is part of being an empath and a human lint roller.
Well, yeah, but that's also the part of consent.
Yes.
You know what I think we need to make a thing. We need to make what here's the phrase. We need to normalize Platonic cuddle dates.
Yeah. I don't think that's such a bad idea.
Being able to hang out with a group of people that you like and just cuddle, and there's no expectations, there's no anything that you have to worry about. It's just you're like a giant teddy bear, but you're a people. And
you know about the professional cuddle thing, right? There are actual professional cuddlers who will platonically cuddle for pay. It's a big thing in the Bay Area.
But I would rather cuddle with people I actually know.
That makes sense. I mean, my partner's a total cuddle slut.
Yeah. People that know me will. Well, I mean, I'm a hugger. When we were at
better, but germs, not wrong.
Well, see, that's why I only bite people I know.
Same here. I only bite people that I know well enough that I would want to bite them for different reasons. Or
However,
else,
I will say, if you have any demon and you don't let her bite you, it leaves a bruise.
Well, we know that now.
I'm going to post that on the page. I'm going to be like, this is what happens when Diana bites you. And I just want to point out, this is us without alcohol.
We're both quite sober right now. And I figured if I met the doctor, he already had like all the antiseptic he could possibly want around him.
Yeah, but you don't know who the last 3 people were that he saw.
That's
Maybe
fair.
dangerous coat in between. I think about stuff like that.
Ooh, you got a good point there.
See, and if you bit him, it would have been right on that lab coat.
Good point. Yeah, because since he would have stopped me from going for the throat, so
Yeah, no throats.
no, bad. I
Bad.
did not actually bite my doctor. I may have made him cry for real, but I did not actually bite my doctor.
See, I don't make them cry. They swear at me quite often.
Hmm.
My oldest daughter is sitting here watching me, and she's laughing because she knows that my eye doctor used to swear at me a lot, and my new eye doctor has sworn at me as well. I make the doctors swear at me.
I'm curious, but I kind of don't want to know.
I am not. I don't have very good self care for my eyes, though I am much better now.
Okay.
And the inside of my eyes have quite a few scars, like 10 plus scars on the inside of my eyes.
Oh, yeah. I could.
It's amazing that I have sight. So, and that is from overuse of contact lenses. I was actually going to wear my glasses tonight, but it's very hard for me to stare at a screen for a while after a while when I have my glasses on. But I am very good. I don't sleep in them anymore. I am doing some self-care there. And I'm just going to use that to segue into if you would like some self-care, but you're not sure how to go about it and you need someone just to give you a little bit of guidance, you can book Miss Diana through her website. Look at that. Bam. I had that last one ready to go.
There we go.
You can also book her through the Golden Apple website. We do have a services page and I think it lists almost all of the services that you do currently.
It does. I think there's a few things coming up. I think I need to add the entity removal one,
Mm-hmm.
just because I tend to list them as it starts coming up, and I don't know what the hell is going on in Kalamazoo, but it's becoming fairly common out here. So I'm thinking people are bored and just making friends with anything that will cuddle with them.
I met someone from Michigan last night,
Yeah.
a very nice gentleman at the bar who bought me a drink. I said, thank you. We had a nice conversation. I
Oh,
told him I wasn't going home with him from jump. Um, and, repeated that quite a few times. So he was very, very nice. I did tell him that though he is making a lot of money at what he does currently, he knows he's not happy because he's supposed to be doing something else. And that's the person whose palm I read that I didn't, I don't ever do that. So
mm-hmm.
I was kind of on a little bit last night. It was
Cool.
really interesting. But Diana is on almost all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So if I need a reading, then she's probably the person that I'm going to go to first, unless it's something that is uh, really, really up there on the weird shit meter. Then I'm going to say, Diana, we need a specialist.
Yeah, because it's
Who do
usually
you
us together for the
recommend?
weird shittometer. But
Yeah.
and for good or ill, almost everyone who comes to me walks away with a to-do list.
Mm-hmm. And I will say that if you come to us, we want to solve your problem. Like we want to get rid of you
Yeah,
in a good way.
I aim with every client to work myself out of a job. I do not like to cultivate dependence. I'm not going to string you along. I'm going to help you figure out what it is you want to actually make happen and help you through both practical and magical means figure out a way to get there.
Mm-hmm. And if we don't know exactly how to fix your problem, we probably know who does.
Mhm.
So that's kind of the fun part. Anyway, we are down to the wire here. I'm going to click back to the comments for a second. If you have any comments, questions, queries, no more trolling because we don't like that. We're kicking you out. Or if you just want to say hi and that we look gorgeous because we do,
Yes.
um, then just send the love now. Oh, we have lots of little loves and laughters here. Who is
Good.
laughing at us?
Well, I
Kira
mean,
or the Kira? Someone.
okay, and I
But
can't see that one in mine, so.
oh yeah, I have the little Kira McMillan. Unless it's
Oh,
one
hi,
of your.
Kira.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And just give a howdy if you're on. We love to hear from you. Please feel free to come back for our next show in 2 weeks. Um, I don't know what we're going to talk about then. We didn't know what we were going to talk about today until a couple hours ago.
Yeah.
Some days it's just like that. But thanks everybody for coming in tonight. Thank you, Diana, for being here.
All right.
And we will talk to everyone soon. Stay safe, stay wild, walk to the beat of your own drum. And if anybody tries to tell you that you're going to hell because of the stuff you do, tell them to suck it. And whoever that person was, if you're still watching us on YouTube, I hope you suck it daily.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go back to we're going to go to our friend Peter Gundry to take us out tonight. And for that person, I just want to say that this particular song, just for you, is called Salem's Secret. So I gotta get to press play. I love it. It's instrumental. It's just deep and it's gorgeous. And I love it. And it's going to take us out tonight.
Yay. Good night, everyone. Good night, Gracie.
Good night, John Boy.